everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today I'm bringing you my bread in the bread maker, and I did this during one of my meal prep videos, but I find that when I do that in my meal prep videos, I always get asked which video it's in and I can never remember. So as promised, I'm filming this as a standalone so that I can talk to you a little bit more about the recipe itself. So what I have here is just a plain regular, I don't even know what brand it is. It's a Kenmore. This is how old this thing is. So it's a Kenmore bread maker. And long story short is that I had a bread maker that I used all the time. And when my bread maker stopped working, I contacted my mom to see if I could borrow her bread maker until I found the one that I wanted to replace it with. And she's like, I don't even use it. So I went over there and borrowed, I had my phone in my hand so that I can give you the ingredients, but borrowed her bread maker like last year. I don't think she's getting it back. You know, if you have something that you love, you should love it and use it. So super excited to have a bread maker back in my life again, you know, after that one broke. So again, give me some thumbs up if you like these cook with me videos. Leave me some comments below and let me go ahead and get started and tell you what is in this recipe. So we need 1 cup of warm water, 3 tablespoons of white sugar, which is here, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. My canola oil was handy, so I figured I'm just gonna go ahead and use that one. And then 3 cups of flour, and I just have some regular plain all-purpose flour here. And then 2¼ teaspoons of active dry yeast. And do I have plenty of dry yeast? I think I have plenty. So I picked this up at Costco, and I found that it's cheaper for me to buy it like this than it is for me to buy it in those small little packets. So save yourself some time if you plan on making a lot of bread. Here you go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get you a little closer. We're gonna go ahead and get our measurements pre-measured. And I think I'll do that. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-measure the ingredients so that I just have to show you how to dump it into the bread maker. Now, here is your question of the day. You guys know I always like to give you questions. Here's your question. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make if you want me to attempt to make bread by hand without the bread maker. So let me know in the comments. I do have a couple of recipes, but I have not done that in years. And I'm talking, I don't want to date myself, but a long time ago. So let me turn around, let me get these pre-measured, and then we'll get started. But let me know in the comments. If I get at least 25 comments saying make the bread by hand, I'll go ahead and film that one for you, hopefully next week or the week after. So just give me some time and I will get that one filmed and show you how to do that as well. Pretty sure that it's gonna use just pretty much the same ingredients. So the ingredients aren't a problem. I already have them out here. So let me get started. Okay, so you're seeing the inside of the bread maker. And if you notice there's this little paddle here, make sure that you always know where this paddle is, because one time in my old bread maker, I made the bread, it was stuck in the bread, and I didn't pay attention, and somehow I lost it. No idea what I did with it, but I lost it, and then I had to contact the company. Thank goodness they could resell me another one, but oh man, you just make sure you know where that's at. That's my tip of the day for you. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour in 1 cup of water. Okay, next up, we're gonna dump in 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and we're just gonna settle that in right on top of the water. I know that all you're seeing is the bowl. Sorry, I should have dumped that the other way. Okay, had to grab a spoon out of the drawer. So inside our pan we have 1 cup of water, and that is warm water. I think it said it had to be about 110 degrees to 45 degrees Celsius, depending on how your system is. Now I always like to take the the flour and just kind of make a little divot so I can put the rest of my stuff in there. Do you have to do that? Probably not. Have I been doing it ever since I've started making this? Yep. So just do like Kim does and make a little divot. All right, so 3 tablespoons of sugar. 2, 3. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have went ahead and put my oil in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and sneak that off to the side real quick on this other side. I don't think it matters, but I'm just gonna put it over here in the corner. All right, so we need 3 tablespoons of oil. That's 1. Look at us improvising. So proud of myself over here. That's 2 and 3. And I think the reason why I used to do this is because of the fact that you can set this to have a delay start. So if you're gonna set this up like before you left for work in the morning and you wanted to have fresh hot bread when you got home, you could go ahead and set this up and set it up with a delay start. And then what that's gonna do is, as long as your yeast is not touching your wet ingredients, it's not gonna activate. So I think that's why I used to do it this way. So okay, so now we have our warm water in here, we have our flour, we have our sugar. Next up, we're gonna add our salt. We need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and I just have a 1/2 teaspoon here. I thought it would just be easier instead of having to dirty up 2 of them. So we'll add 3 of those in. Okay, there's your salt. The last thing that we have to add in is our yeast. It calls for 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. So here is our 1/4 teaspoon. Here is our 1, and here is our 2. All right, so we've got it all in there. The only thing that we have to do now is shut the lid. I like how you can see in the middle of it. Plug it in, which I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna bring you back, not so zoomed. Be easier just to scoot this back. And the thing that I like about this one is it keeps your last settings. So if you can see here, I don't know, maybe I can zoom you in a little bit more. If you can see this little dot here, that says that I'm making a 2-pound loaf, which I am. I have it set, you could do light, medium, or dark on your crust. I always like the medium. So here's how you know, these are the different selections you can make. And I'm just making a regular, it's gonna cook for 3 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm just making the regular basic recipe here. So all I have to do is hit start. So what's gonna happen is this is going to start to knead, and hopefully it won't be too loud. I'll kind of bring it back so you can watch it. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna start to knead the dough and start to incorporate and mix all that up. So once it becomes a dough, then it's going to sit and rise for a few minutes, longer than a few minutes, but it'll rise for a while, and then it'll beat a little bit more, then it'll rise a little longer, and then it goes into bake mode. So basically it's throw everything in and walk away. So I'll try to remember to come pop on here in a minute once it gets incorporated and show you what the dough looks like. And we can just look it through the window, or maybe I'll pop it open real quick. You don't want to be opening this too much, because what's going to happen is the warm water and the temperature of the dough is going to help the yeast rise, I think is how it goes. You guys, I think that's how it goes. So you don't want to open it up and change the temperature inside. So maybe we'll just look at it through here just so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to let this do its thing, and then I will come back and show you once that dough is, once it comes together. Okay, I'm going to give you a really quick look. All right, so hang tight. Pretty cool, right? So it's doing all of our mixing together. It's making it into a nice big ball of dough. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave this alone. I'm just gonna let it go ahead and do its thing. And once it is done baking, I will come back and show you our final product. And I'm telling you, if you love homemade bread, definitely invest in one of these, because I'm telling you, they are just, it's an awesome appliance. So, all right, I'll come back at you and I'll show you what it looks like. And trust me, you guys are gonna wish you had smell-o-vision, because as soon as this starts baking, oh, the smell of fresh baked bread, you cannot go wrong. Okay, so our bread is ready. Are you ready to take the first look? Check it out. How does that look? Let's see if I can get you a different angle on it. Looks amazing, right? All right, so we're gonna let this cool off, and then I will pull it out and I will cut it, and then we are going to enjoy this with our dinner today. So this, I'll put the recipe down below along with the points for this recipe so that you can have it. So look below for that. So with that said, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this up and sign off. And I'll put a little clip at the end of me cutting the bread so that you could see how it looks once I cut it and pull it out. So that way we can just kind of wrap this up and move right along. All right, so with that said, don't forget, thumbs up, leave me some comments. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like, and we will see you next video.